All right. So, for all of you who may be breastfeeding while trying to lose weight at the same time, this little section is for you. I had breastfed for over a year with my daughter. And so I have some good insight along my 70 pounds of weight loss of what it takes to breastfeed, but also lose weight at the same time and not lose your supply. Because I did not formula feed, I was all breastfeeding. So there's some adjustments that you have to make in order to keep that supply up, but still manage to have the weight loss as well. And I do have to say, it is a balancing act. There will be times when you feel like you've got your calories down packed, but then all of a sudden you're like, why am I losing a supply? What's going on here? Don't panic. There's ways to jumpstart that. And I'm just going to get into this and give you some extra info that's going to be really helpful for you. So, when we're getting your macros for your starting points, take these with like a grain of salt because there may be times when you need to completely bump up some other things, have more carbs than maybe what your macros say, and make those adjustments. But we'll get into that. Okay, so if breastfeeding is a priority to you, you have to make these adjustments or your milk supply will tank. Under eating, immediately you're going to see your milk supply drop. If you're not eating enough carbs, your milk supply is going to drop. Basically, you need to be eating an additional 300 to 500 calories in your day to help support that milk production. Some of the common foods that really helped me with my milk supply, I had oatmeal like almost every single day. Oatmeal, eggs, spinach, avocado for those healthy fats. Quinoa was really helpful. And then hemp, chia, and flaxseed, I put that into a smoothie. I had my go-to smoothie. It was hemp, chia, and flax blend. I had spinach thrown in there. I would put sun butter in there, protein powder, and then berries. And I drank that so much. That was like my go-to thing when I didn't have time. I felt like I couldn't make anything and I needed to eat. But these are my go-to foods that seem to really help with my supply. Every time I kind of took oatmeal away, I was like, okay, no, I need to add that back in. So these were helpful for me. You may have other things. But another key point is keep your water intake like way up and with electrolytes as well. That's as simple as um, like one of those drinks out there, like Body Armor. People love that one, but you don't have to get that fancy. You can literally just be like adding more salt to things. It's not that complicated. But drinking a lot of water is going to be very, very, very helpful to keep that supply up. Some common reasons why you can see a drop in supply. Some of these are, just feeding issues that you have to work through. Like if you're not keeping up with the breastfeeding, and I had to go back to work and I was pumping, and I did see a drop right away because I wasn't pumping at all until I went to work. Really, I tried to get a stock. That was really not fun. I just didn't like the machine, and I can't even look at one anymore. But infrequent or like ineffective pumping, or the breastfeeding is not effective and the baby's not getting enough, you're going to see a drop in supply because your body doesn't think you need it. Poor latch, same kind of thing. If you're adding in formula and your baby's eating less, your body knows, oh, well, we don't need to make that much because your baby doesn't need it. So it drops. These last three, though, that I have on here are the most important to pay attention to that pertain to your weight loss. Getting overly stressed, which for a mom, yeah, or super fatigued, you're going to see the supply drop. Your body's exhausted and it's going to get rid of other things that aren't serving it, and milk supply seems to start to go away. So obviously working on rest and recovery techniques, that self-care, that's going to be really helpful. If you're overdoing it with exercise, that could be potentially overstressing you and causing you to lose some of that milk supply. So we have to be balancing things. Like I talked about a little bit earlier, if you're not eating enough, you are going to see your milk supply drop. So inadequate nutrition and not hydrated, you're going to see some supply drop. And then hormonal factors come into play, like when your period comes back, and just like some other random things will happen and you'll see a dip in your supply. It's not always tied to your food and your stress. There's always these other things too. But these are the common ones to look out for. The stress and fatigue and the nutrition and the hydration, those you have a lot of control over. Those you can kind of jumpstart and kind of figure out how to boost the supply back up. There were times when I kind of had to put myself out of weight loss and into maintenance to kind of get the supply back up. It's a balancing act. Be kind with yourself. You're not going to be able to get as rapid loss as you want to because you're balancing your milk supply at the same time. Just be patient, be kind. The weight's going to come off if you're doing all the right things. But I just wanted to give you guys some background if you're breastfeeding, how we're adjusting your macros a little bit, and foods that are really helpful and things to look out for dropping in supply. All right. If you have any other questions or anything, don't hesitate to reach out into the group and everything and ask. I will see you guys in the next video.